That looks very promising. Some steps? I wasn't expecting such luxury. I wonder what's waiting for me down there. Amazing. Yep, that's got it. I wonder if this cave was formed naturally, or if someone or something gave a helping hand. Tree roots, so I must be directly under the surface of the ground. About 4 meters wide and... oh, it's not that deep at all. A few 100 meters maybe. There are fluorescent things hanging everywhere. They look like huge glowworms, but they're not moving. Are those some kind of writing symbols on the wall? None of it means anything to me, I'm afraid. Some kind of thing. Difficult to know exactly what it is from here. If I'm not mistaken, that's exactly the same kind of portal as there is in the academy. Was, before it was filled in. It's a roll of damp-proof sheeting used in construction. The craftsmen should really cover the floor with it so they don't make everything filthy. I guess that's no big deal while the place is looking like it is. The ladder would make a decent bridge over the pit. I'll try it. So what have we got here then? An ancient comic? It looks like a kind of picture-based script. Let's see if I can work any of it out. Some guy carrying a black ball. He's wearing a long robe. Or a dress. Could be some holy character. Or a priest. Then he lies down with the black ball and some other guys wearing dresses stand around him. Weird. And here they're taking the guy with the ball's head off? Wait, could it be some kind of burial ritual? Or an execution? I could do with a copy of this somehow, so somebody can take a look and maybe tell me what these symbols mean. I'll take a quick photo. Maybe I'll find someone who knows about hieroglyphics. I've seen one of these before, in the academy. Angelina placed a black ball in it, and then the portal opened. I think she'd stolen it from the museum, but now she's dead, and she had the ball with her when my mother threw her to her death. An inactive portal, just like the one in the academy. Angelina was able to open it using a weird black ball thing. Hello, doctor? Can I ask you a quick question?
Of course, come on in.
Hi, Doc.
Adrian, what can I do for you?
Tell me, Doc, have you had a look at the museum here?
To be honest, no. I've never been, and I never will.
It's probably better that way. Then, I guess you don't know anything about the black ball?
I'm sorry, no.
Look at this.
What is it?
Some kind of hieroglyphs, I think. Are you familiar with this kind of thing?
With hieroglyphs? No. But I think I've got a book about it. Just a minute. Here, I bought this before my holiday in Egypt. But I've never read it. Perhaps there's something in there that interests you.
Thanks. Bye, Doc.
Look after yourself, Adrian.
Hieroglyphs and the history of their origin in various cultures. A damn weighty tome. That could take a little time right now. Okay then, there are a few signs which are in other languages as well. I'm definitely not going to find any others in here. I'm pretty sure that the script from the cavern is not in this book. Pity. But it was worth a try. There's something here on the last page. Dr. Winterbottom, thanks for the loan. The text was very enlightening. Best wishes, Edward. Hello, Father.
Adrian, welcome to my church.
Tell me, Father Frederick, do you know anything about a black ball, like a pearl? There was one exhibited in the museum a few weeks ago, but it was stolen.
I'm not surprised that museum should be closed down. It exhibits evil and attracts people with it. It should never have been allowed to open.
And the ball? Do you know anything about it?
If it's been exhibited there, no.
Does this mean anything to you?
They're pagan symbols. I don't know anything about that.
Thanks for the help.
May the Lord be with you.
There's a whole lot of nothing going on here. How does Murray make money with all this garbage? Oh, a donations box. For the bereaved, it says. Yeah, sure. And a camera, so Murray can see whether people donate from the comfort of his own home. A big wooden chest with a padlock and a slot in the lid. There's a label on the front. Please donate for the bereaved of the brutally murdered dead. It's got Diary of a Murderer written on it, in bloody writing. Yeah, right. Dr. Heinz Herman's bone-sawing utensils. Murray's murder marketing certainly takes on a variety of forms. There was a mysterious black ball in this cabinet, until Angelina stole it in order to open a portal to Mordred. A replica of Miss Valley's burnt corpse. Oh, this really goes beyond the bounds of good taste. Couldn't someone sue Murray for such tastelessness? Hey, that's me. Wanted. Dangerous arsonist? The American tourist Darren Michaels is strongly suspected of committing arson. Witnesses who can supply information on the course of events on the evening of the fire are still needed. Every clue counts. All that's missing now is a bounty on my head. The Lighthouse in Miniature, hand-blown by Murray's Arts and Crafts Group. Various pamphlets on the history of Willow Creek. The River Diversion, the Old Academy, skeletal finds, excavations, the dangers of swamps, and so on. Nothing really interesting there. All of the pamphlets were put together by this Edward guy. He seems to be really interested in history and archaeology. Sadly, there's hardly any information about the excavations or a black ball. At least nothing that helps me any. Hi, Huh? The sign? Please don't talk to the staff. Oh, right. Strange guy. Probably not even a real cop. I don't really know what to find more shocking. That Murray's made replicas of Dr. Herman's severed head, or that someone has bought one of them. Who the hell buys this crap? What does it say there? I love blood and kill me. And what's that? Take my soul. Are those plaster casts of Murray's ass, which he's selling as death masks? Those are the old things from the Museum of Local History. They used to be in here. Here we can see a typical Willow Creek tourist couple, probably on a romantic honeymoon. Excuse me, may I ask you something?
Gozlady. Svetlanushka, look. They even got a Darren Michaels lookalike.
Fantastic! He looks so much like the real thing!
What do you want to ask, Yunosha?
I hope you're not gonna miss the black ball. Unfortunately, it was stolen a few weeks ago.
Нет, we saw last time here.
We are here just for corpses. It's done very well. Очень красиво.
Thank you. I'll pass the compliment on. Would you mind taking part in a little survey? We're planning a new exhibition about ancient dark powers that have been doing evil in Willow Creek for thousands of years.
Отлично!
The lettering should, of course, suit it. What do you think about these kind of hieroglyphs?
What a kaya chunya! It looks like children's book from Egypt. No horror. Boring.
More death, da.
I'm sure we can manage that. Thank you. Enjoy our museum.
We do that. Спасибо.
The Gordon Chronicle was in here. The note says that it's been removed from the museum by request of the Gordon family. Well, compliments to Murray for coming up with the idea in the first place. The pictures are of the murder scenes. This is the lighthouse where Miss Valley was killed. That's Vic Valley. He was found dead in a stone circle 12 years ago. Hopefully, his sister never saw him here. That's the fence that William Gordon fell on from the window. And Samuel, too, a few weeks later. That's the back of Blackmere Castle, the place where the gardener died 12 years ago. The picture's been used a lot by the newspapers and for postcards. The sensational part of the museum used to be behind this wall. No idea why Murray walled it up. Perhaps to save on heating costs? My father, Samuel Gordon, portrayed as a bloodthirsty murderer. I never met him, but somehow I can understand him now. Dr. Herman's death scene, director's cut, the endless version. If Herman hadn't been killed by Samuel, he probably would have been Murray's #1 goremeister by now. The stone circle. That's where Vic, Miss Valley's little brother, was murdered. You can get that in poster format in the hotel. That'll be a torture mask with spikes on the inside. I wonder where Murray got that from. An old bureau. Why's that here? Was someone murdered on it? Or with it? The system for the sound effects. Edward,
Sir?
all on your own today?
Denise is ill.
But wasn't she here this morning?
Yes. She went down with a virus all of a sudden.
Might that be the Conrad Spooner virus?
I think it's got plenty of names. Whatever the case, it doesn't just make you unfit for work. It makes you unfit for marriage, too.
I'm very sorry, Edward.
Well, anyway, it's not infectious.
Have you ever been in the local museum?
I'm very interested in museums of all kinds, especially ethnology and history, sir. But this thing here in Willow Creek really can't be described as a museum. It's much more of an omnium gatherum of unworthiness.
You've been in it?
Yes, a couple of years ago, when there were a few real exhibition pieces in it.
You're interested in ancient history?
Quite true, sir. You could say it's a hobby of mine. I've been collecting ancient coins from different cultures for years now. You build up quite a substantial knowledge doing that, you know.
Fantastic. Could you take a look at this and tell me what you make of it?
Oh, yes. I've seen this script before somewhere. It's Druidic. Very old.
Can you read it?
Reading might be an exaggeration. It's more a kind of pictorial story. I think it's a description of a burial ritual. Yes, that could well be the case. Here, the dead person seems to be some kind of ecclesiastical person. A priest, if you will. You can see that by the crooked staff. That symbol was often used for spiritual leaders.
And he has a black ball in his hands. Are you saying that it could be like one of those that was in the museum?
Oh, you could even be right there. If that's the case, then I'm not at all surprised it was stolen. It would be worth a fortune.
Might it be possible that there are more of them?
I wouldn't exclude that possibility. If it's some kind of a burial gift for priests, then there could be a chance you'd find one under a burial mound.
The last time you were in the museum, did you ever look at that black ball?
Yes. Apparently, it was the only thing of any value in there. That's why it got stolen. However, I still ask myself to this day what it was supposed to be exactly. It was too dark for a kind of crystal ball like fortune tellers use. What's your opinion?
Well, it certainly wasn't a bowling ball. You mentioned a burial mound. Is there one around here?
Oh, yes, sir. There are supposed to be one or two around here. At least they discovered some a few years ago. It was even in the paper. Ah, now I remember where I recognize the hieroglyphics from. There was a photograph of the tomb in the paper, along with the research team. These kinds of hieroglyphics were engraved in the rocks.
A research team? Damn. I bet they cleared out the tomb completely.
You would think so. But you could...
I could what?
Excuse my tactlessness, sir. Miss Valley, she was involved with the excavation. A group of archaeology students were here in this area looking for pagan relics, and they discovered a burial mound quite by chance. It was quite an exciting event.
And, who else was involved in this enterprise?
Nobody I knew, I regret to say, sir.
Thanks anyway, Edward. You've helped me a lot.
Sir, would you happen to have a moment's time?
Yeah?
It's rather unpleasant for me to mention this so brashly, but Dr. Winterbottom said I ought to do it. Now, as master of Black Mirror Castle, would you happen to have any staff requirements? I would be most pleased to be able to work for you, sir.
Huh? What's gonna happen to the cafe if you're no longer here?
Oh, don't worry about that. Denise's father already has a new business idea, and I, don't believe I'm the right sort of chap for it.
Is that so? Isn't the cafe doing so well? What could do better here in Willow Creek then?
An undertaking business. Funerals, sir.
Huh. Of course. I should have thought of that myself. But I really don't know if I can actually use a butler. I need construction guys or a demolition company more urgently.
It is precisely a butler's job to look after such things.
Maybe you're right. Well then, why not come up to the castle tomorrow sometime? Then we can give it some more thought.
Thank you very much, sir.
Take care, Edward.
I'll do my best, sir.
Inspector Spooner.
Little Lord Adrian, what can the village Bobby do for you?
Are you trying to suck up to me, or are you pulling my leg?
You choose.
Have you arrested Tom?
He vanished into the woods. We've started a search.
This black ball that was stolen from the museum.
You want to give it back? That'd be very nice, of course.
So it hasn't turned up again?
No.
Have you seen anything like this before?
Something similar. In the cells on the wall.
There are supposed to be burial mounds in this area. Do you happen to know where any of them are?
You've just inherited a castle. Now you want to move again?
Couldn't you give me just one decent answer, please?
Ah, well. If it means so much to you. No, I don't know where you might find a burial mound.
By the way, the necklace that Tom got so wound up about, did you ever consider that it might be stolen? From an old people's home, for example?
From an old people's home in Ipswich?
Just an idea. Might you possibly be able to give me a tiny bit of information?
Really? I can't wait.
You searched Miss Valley's house, didn't you? Did you come across any kind of archaeological notes or drawings while you were at it?
Zach? Shouldn't you been off on the beat long ago? You know, Adrian, I get the feeling that our, let's call it a relationship, has got rather bogged down of late. You're constantly coming to me with some new request. It's always me who's supposed to give you something. I'm thinking it's time we changed all that.
Would you like to come with me to see Doc Winterbottom? Do some couple therapy?
Nice idea, but I've got something else planned. As you perhaps already noticed, I sometimes tend towards making quite hasty judgments. That's one of the reasons they redeployed me here to Willow Creek. I'd actually imagine my life as a police inspector somewhat differently.
Pursuits, shootouts, explosions.
You're looking into my very soul. But without some clear evidential success under my belt, I'm not going to be getting out of this dump all that quickly. And what with your circumstances having sadly changed somewhat.
What's supposed to have changed there? I'm innocent now, just like I always was.
But now your nobility, as you have so strikingly noticed. And here in good old England, that is a good reason to treat things with more of a feather-light touch. Or to put it another way, an error in such a case would definitely not be good for my career.
Have I got this right? You're crapping yourself because I own a castle now.
Perhaps it's still not too late to forget the whole thing and close the case. But to do that, I have to present the judge with something meaningful.
Is that a polite request for a confession? Are you kidding me?
No, you misunderstood me. The thing with Tom and that Phil is already a good start. Also, Murray has corrected his statement and given you an alibi for the Miss Valley murder. Seems to like you a lot, that bloke. But there's still this Lewis and Angelina woman. They're officially missing. But someone who's missing also can be a perpetrator. You do see that?
We're speaking the same language at last. What's happening with Miss Valley's house now? Have you found anything there?
We only found some photos of you, and we also took a few other things relevant to the case. If you think you can find something there that might bring this case to a close, then I'll let you have a look around the house.
Are we partners then?
Not the expression I'd use. Hey, but this conversation never took place, okay? Zach will go with you, and I want to be informed about everything.
Of course, Inspector. Goodbye.
Fare thee well, my lord.
Can I ask you something briefly? I found a bear trap in the woods. Are those kind of traps even allowed?
I know there are hunters out and about all year round, but I'm sure they don't use bear traps. There aren't any bears in England.
What are the traps for then? And who set them?
Maybe the bears have laid some to catch the hunters.
You've got a logical explanation for everything, haven't you? The most important thing for you is that you don't have to waste any time having a proper look at things.
That's what it looks like.
The inspector said that it wouldn't be a problem if I wanted to have a look at Miss Valley's house for myself, but that you should come along to keep an eye on me.
If that's what he said, I'll go and get the keys. Have fun with the search. Just tell me when you want to go.
Seems Miss Valley wasn't just scared of the Gordons. I've definitely overlooked something, and I'm thinking I'm not going to get back in here all that easily. Old newspapers and a book with English children's songs. That's no use to me. Now this could be interesting. Miss Valley's book collection. Let's take a look. English history and stories, Camelot and the Holy Grail. From William the Conqueror to Magna Carta. Aha, a folder from a university. Constable, can I take a look at this folder here?
That's just books about science and the like.
Was that a yes?
Okay by me, but don't take too long.
No black ball. If I'm lucky, then nobody else will have found it either. Now all I have to do is find out exactly where this burial mound is. Now I've got something I can work with. Sector I-3 in the marsh. I've been round there already when I was looking for the portals. And there's a place where there are lots of small animal bones. I must be able to find that. Newspaper clippings about Vic's murder. I can't imagine how anyone could murder a child so brutally. An empty notepad.
What are you doing there?
I just wanted to take a piece of paper to take some notes.
Stay down here, please.
What? Why? Maybe there's something worth looking at up there.
Miss Valley kept all of her papers down here. We've searched through everything upstairs and found nothing except a couple of photos of her brother Vic.
All right.
What are you up to?
Maybe there's a secret trapdoor under the rug.
What a load of nonsense.
Crockery with folkloric designs. Experts like me call them painted plates. I think they just don't have oil or gas in Willow Creek yet. Anything against me taking a piece of coal?
I don't think anybody would have anything against that.
A wooden rocking chair. The backrest doesn't look particularly comfortable. She must have really loved her brother. Miss Valley's brother, Vic. She has quite a lot of pictures of him, but that's no surprise. She was pretty obsessed with his death, and particularly with his murderer, Samuel Gordon, my father. This trick has always worked before. That has to be the same letter as the one I found in the shack. You can still read a bit of it. In case we are unable to, the evil, we fail in our goal and the order never existed. Already sacrificed. That was never my intention. If the cursed one, then... Oh, now it's looking very faint. Can't be allowed to find any trace that might lead to us. I get it. This is Miss Valley announcing that the order should be disbanded should anything go wrong. That explains a lot. Zach, I've seen enough. Let's go.
Please, put the folder away again, and then we can go.